Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of the Hollywood Uncensored Podcast. I am your gracious host, as always, Hollywood Hogan. I am joined by my good brother, once again, Rossi Montgomery. Brother, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you, man. Always good to be here. Always good to have some fun, especially in the weird world that is today of quarantine and then protests. I don't know what the news is anymore because I try to stay as far a hell away from it as I can. But Hollywood, thank you for always bringing me on here to talk movies, music, wrestling, whatever. It just keeps us going and, it keeps us busy as well,
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it's been a weird world, a weird, terrible year. I don't want to focus too much on the year it is because every day it seems like it gets a little bit worse all the time. I do want to apologize for the lack of uploads. I will admit this year has definitely taken a toll on your boys' creative juices, but I'm trying to get back, trying to bounce back. These podcasts are kind of turning into the kind of therapy sessions for your boy because I can just rant about random shit with Rossi here. It's always a fun time, but let's jump right in to this podcast very quickly. I'm going to do some sports and then just real quick, really quick, just to throw that out there. Number one, the NBA is coming back. Your boy is absolutely hyped about that. July 31st, the Lakers are back. We got to win that championship. For all the people that are saying there's going to be an asterisk in front of that, fuck out of here. It's not going to be an asterisk. First of all, they're playing in Orlando. They're not playing on their home court. They're playing at Disney World, for fuck's sake. If they win the championship there and with Mickey Mouse in the presence of Mickey and Goofy, I think that's not an asterisk. That's the best championship of all time. But your boy is very happy that the NBA is coming back. So I'm sure once the season starts kicking off, I'll probably start doing live reactions. So look forward to that. Again, this summer is going to be stacked, man. I'm hoping this summer salvates a lot of the things that this year has kind of taken away from us because this year has been awful once again. But let's jump right into it, man. Look, this episode's probably going to be dedicated to a lot of DC things. Just going to let you guys know that right off the bat. I know I promised you guys a Star Wars episode. I promise you we will get to that in the very, very, very near future. But with
it's coming.
It is coming very soon. And with all the DC Warner Brothers stuff, though, I had to get in my bag here. I'm back to being a DCEU mark. I'm sorry, Rossi. I'm back to being the Batflick stan that I've always have been.
I've always been a Batfleck fan.
Yeah.
And I'm always gonna be. That's number one.
Absolutely.
My problem with the DCU is a lot of other things. I'll let you finish. But always come on, Affleck, you were the bomb in Batman, yo. Like you got this. So
Bro, I carried that. You know me. I carried that DCEU flag even for the movies that sucked. I forced myself to like them just because I wanted that universe to be a thing. Because I just liked the fact that we had two different themes of superhero, like the MCU, which was more like up-tempoed, more kind of like comic booky than usual, and then DC had the very dark tone, very Frank Miller inspired stuff that they were going for. And then for whatever reason, Warner Brothers, folded under pressure because of all the bad reviews that BVS got to Rotten Tomatoes. And then they tried to copy the MCU with Justice League. And it all completely fell apart, which then I kind of just gave up. And I was like, whatever, don't care anymore. I'm back. I'm back to being the mark that I am for the DCEU because we talked about this on the last episode and we kind of made it seem like it wasn't going to happen. But it has been announced that we are getting the official Zack Snyder Justice League cut on HBO Max coming, from what I'm hearing, May 2021. Now, some details about that before we jump into this discussion. Warner Brothers is giving, technically AT&T, is giving Zack Snyder up to $20 to $30 million to finish the post-production of his vision of Justice League. I know a lot of people are thinking that, will the cast come back to do reshoots? That's still yet to be seen, but $25 to $30 million is a lot of money to play with. That's not like chump change. That's a lot to finish a movie. So I'm thinking we might see a lot of the same stuff that we saw, but I'm thinking he's including a lot of things that we were supposed to see but didn't see. The one thing I'm happy about that we won't be getting is a terrible CGI'd Superman face that they gave you right off the bat with that movie. Number two, I am excited for Darkseid. I have to admit it. When they get to that, I am hyped about that. Number three, Martian Manhunter. I'm lit for that as well. But we'll break that all down as we go into it. Rossi, please give me your first reaction when you heard that this is now a reality.
You know, I always have said, and this is going on now, probably fairly close to a decade. I like to be wrong. I want to be wrong more times in just the world, and I don't like to be right all the time. And that's not me being egotistical. That's just me being, stating a fact. I'm too right sometimes, you guys and listeners. They'll be like, "That guy's a dickhead." You're not far off. But that being said, I was wrong. I did not think we were gonna get it. I thought the more I saw the hashtags and the people posting about, "Oh, I want the Snyder cut, release it," I didn't think it was gonna happen. It is now, clearly. I am interested. Going back and piggybacking off of what you said, I absolutely, since day one, was a Batfleck fan. Ben Affleck as Batman, I thought was great. I'm going back on my word saying that my favorite and stand-all, be-all Batman live-action version is still given to Michael Keaton. Ben Affleck, though, acting-wise for Batman, that won it for me. That was great. That was the future version of Batman, the Dark Knight Returns Batman that comic book fans really know. I didn't have a problem with that movie. Of all the things that people really griped about, I didn't see a problem. I thought Henry Cavill was great Superman as well. So, I think it's very interesting. I think the biggest thing that is going to be the tell-all, end-all of the entire movie is how different it can and may be.
Yeah.
As opposed to the theatrical version that we got of Justice League. I still don't know, because that's the part that I always was like, okay, how different can it really be? And again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If it's completely different, I'm interested. I'm interested as of right now to see it. I didn't think it was going to happen. As far as I go with Zack Snyder, I give him praise for other films. I did not really give him praise for this version of his that I never saw. I will wait to see what I think about it after watching it. But as of now, it's interesting. It's weird that that's how the world works right now, is things don't happen, and then for about a few years you just petition about it, and then finally it goes. So it's interesting, but it's one of those things like, did they always plan it? Did they not? That's hit or miss, but I'm interested in seeing it. I'm interested in seeing how different it is, like I said. And other than that, definitely, interesting to see and to hear what will happen after it's released, as far as where the studios go on making future movies and releases after that.
Yeah. I think that's my biggest. Well, also, like, can anybody want to release their own cut of their own movie at some point as well?
Well, I think that's what we're seeing right now with Suicide Squad and stuff like that. People now keep being like, "Well, I have my own cut, or I have a 4-hour cut of this." Which, if that's the case, fine. But we've already known about movies having extended versions or uncut versions. That's not really a new thing in this generation, but now it's being told, oh, well, these movies were so changed that they are different films. And that's still to be determined to kind of see how different some of these films really were before the studio or somebody else got involved and made them change it.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I'm excited for the sake of, like you said, I'm interested to see how they change it. You know what I mean? If it's the same movie, it's going to be the biggest troll job ever. If it's literally the same storyline and they're just like, here's Darkseid, and that's all we get, I'm going to be like, what the hell, man? Like,
I think that would be the ultimate fuck you on Zack Snyder's part. If he's just like, my movie's so better, it's so different, and like the first half hour, people are like, okay, so like this is the same, but that makes sense. And then like the first hour goes, and you're like, all right, it's still like the intro. And then like last 10 minutes is a different fight scene, and then credits.
Yeah, because
I don't want to be in the theater for that. I just want to hear people get pissed off after they're the ones in the theater.
The fact that it's dropping on HBO Max just tells you that like social
Yeah.
media that day is going to be even as toxic as it usually is, because the way it's going to be presented, from what I've been told, they wanted it to be 4 hours. He wants it to be kind of like how they did the new Watchmen series on HBO, where it was episode after episode, chapter after chapter, with cliffhangers on each episode. So a mini series of the Snyder Cut, which I think that's probably the best route to go, because I think you could then, instead of just watching a 4-hour cut, we saw people complain for Scorsese's new movie with De Niro. I forgot what the movie was called. My bad, ladies and gentlemen.
Irishman.
There we go. The Irishman. It was like almost 4 hours long, and people are like, I can't watch this movie. It's too long, even though it was literally on a streaming service, and like you have to watch in the theaters.
Like, so Scorsese, what do you want from him?
Yeah, like Scorsese's going to tell a story. He's going to tell.
He's old. He's tired, and he can hit fucking record for a while.
He got De Niro out of bed. That's like accomplishment by itself at this point. That dude has no reason to be acting anymore. He's a legend. He got Robert De Niro out of bed, like Charlie fucking and his grandfather from Willy Wonka. Like, he got his ass out, and like you said, what more do you people want, man? Scorsese's the golden ticket, or it's Leo. Leo's the golden ticket. Leo's
the golden ticket.
Leo's the golden ticket. But yeah, so I think I understand why they would do kind of a mini series about it. My biggest thing is like, where do you go next? You know what I mean? Like, after that series comes out, you would think there would be some type of significant change, I guess, in the timeline. Like, how do you go from that? Well, unless they do kill Affleck's Batman, which was always going to happen at some point, but that was going to happen in the second part of Justice League, if it ever got that far, which obviously it didn't. It's just going to be interesting to see how they pull this off, because the original ending of that movie was supposed to be Wonder Woman chopping off Steppenwolf's head off.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah,
and seeing the storyboards about it and everything too.
And I'm down with that. And the rumors are that we are going to get the original design of Steppenwolf, which I'm also way more down with that, because he looked like dog shit in this movie. I don't know who. I know Zack's idea was more for him to look like almost like Satan almost, and Warner Brothers like, nope, can't make like toys off of this, which I've heard Kevin Smith talk about this on podcasts before, which Warner Brothers' biggest thing is how many toys can we sell, which is a shitty way to contribute to a movie. But at this point, it's like, who's really buying toys at this point in their lives, except us probably. Our age are probably doing collectibles and stuff like that.
Know.
It's at this point of their lives are more into like the social medias and the platforms and the
I'm not buying fucking Steppenwolf toys though.
Exactly.
I mean,
who's going out of their way to buy Steppenwolf anyway? So I didn't ever
or even that being said, I'm surely not buying Justice League movie toys. So they can model him whatever way they want. I'll still walk by it and be like, oh, that's fucking terrible.
That's a thing again. What I'm interested about is if they do bring back the original ideas and concept arts that he has shown on that social media platform that he's always on. I forget if it's Vera or whatever it is. He's always on that shit. But he's always sharing, like, he's been sharing things on there since the movie dropped, since day one. I know the guy who plays Deadshot or Deathstroke. Which one was it?
Deathstroke.
There we go. Deathstroke.
Right? Yeah.
He, the actor, was teasing that there's another version of the post-credit scene which shows supposedly Deathstroke breaking out Lex Luthor from jail and Batman chasing them, which I'm like, if that exists, if that's actually already filmed and locked away in the Snyder Vault, that's worth the price of admission for me. I'm down to see that more than anything else. Even if the movie's the same, I like, if that's in the movie, that's Batman Arkham Origins right there. Take my money. I'm there for that. So we'll see how they pull that off. I'm excited for it. I think at this point, I've always brought it up. They have nothing to lose. If it flops, it flops. If it doesn't flop, then, I mean, it is what it is. My biggest thing is, what will they do if it's a successful thing? How will they transition it into the next chapter of DC movies? Because you already have a new Batman coming out with Pattinson, and that world is already taking form. Wonder Woman's already doing her thing. Her sequel comes out this summer. Aquaman sequel comes out the next year. Shazam was successful. That sequel comes out the following year. I'm just interested to see what happens. Like, if it's success, what if Ben wants to do his Batman now? Because we know how Ben is. I love Ben, but the dude changes his mind like every other year. Like, there's times he wants to be an actor.
Alcohol's a hell of a drug, man. You know, it's
Exactly. So it's like
No offense, Ben, but
we've all been there.
yeah, no, I get what you mean because like I think best case scenario, and if it's just my honest opinion, if after all of this is said and done, and it's a miniseries, or it's a movie, whatever, how they release it, if they were to approach Affleck and anybody who may not return in a film aspect, I think their best route is to try and approach them in a almost TV series aspect, miniseries, whatever, and have it have nothing to do with the films. The only problem with that is having Wonder Woman and all them others, but I think that would be the only best route as of right now, because that way you save, oh, well, we have two different Batman universes. It has nothing to do with it. One is film, one is television. Stick with that. Have this only be that. I don't think they would go that route at this point because they absolutely want to try and make way more money, which is going to be in film. But I think that could work potentially, like you said, almost like a miniseries Watchmen, even though I don't believe that was supposed to get canceled as early as it was. But I think that can be the route they could go if they were to try and actually get these guys to do something.
But when I heard the Watchmen thing was more the director just not caring anymore about it. Like he wanted to do one season and that's it. Like that was a story. And I guess Warner Brothers and HBO was like, oh, let's do another one. And he was like, I'm good.
He was like, we need more Don Johnson in this. And that's it.
I believe he got shit for the way he did Dr. Manhattan, but I'm like, it's a studio obviously is going to do better budget wise for CGI than he had the money to do with. Like the Watchmen, I haven't watched it, by the way. I just seen clips here and there.
I actually only got about 3 or 4 episodes in. It wasn't bad. I can't say that. But it didn't. No offense to anybody that loves that show, if there are people, but it just wasn't enough to really keep me. So when I did hear that it was done, I was like, oh well, that's a shame, but not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's not getting the Mandalorian treatment like a lot of people wanted it to.
Oh no, not at all.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, it's already starting though, with the Justice League thing, because Henry Cavill has already almost agreed to reprise the role as Superman in future movies. So Cavill, from what I've heard, is potentially going to be used kind of how the MCU used the Hulk, where he's just kind of used sporadically throughout different movies. The biggest one would obviously be Shazam. I know they have interest in doing Black Adam versus Shazam and Superman. That will probably be.
Would it even be so much like he's looked as the Hulk, or would he be almost like the Nick Fury?
That would be cool. I'll be down with him being the Nick Fury.
Like they have him flying around being like, I'd like to talk to you about the Justice League initiative. And they're just like, the fuck does that mean? Like, but he flies in but looks like Clark Kent, so they're even more confused. They're like, why the fuck is this news reporter talking to me about anything?
About the Justice League, apparently, too.
I should kill him, surely. Yeah. And then they don't. And I guess that's how the Justice League of the Marvel Universe is made.
And that's a big thing, though.
If they do it.
Because they're thinking of freaking casting of, and no offense, I don't know if I would have hated or loved it. I'm always curious about casting. You never know how it's going to go. But there are rumors of them wanting Michael B. Jordan to be the next Superman.
Yeah, I don't like. I get it because there are comic versions, but as of right now, I don't. Yeah, can't go too far, but I don't get it.
I mean, Michael B. Jordan, I don't see him as a great actor, first of all, and it's like, oh, you're casting good because of his physique and his look.
I'm like, he surely didn't shine in that Fantastic Four movie. I can tell you that much. Holy shit. I don't know who is the worst actor of that one.
I can't wait till they start the Fantastic Four, the train cut for Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. But I think he's the first one to be like, no one wants to see my cut. Go fuck yourself.
Well,
And I'm like, good. We agree.
That's how Ayers should be, though. Ayers should be the same way. Ayers, like, okay, let's transition to Justice League. Ayers has been pushing now, like, there's a different cut. I deserve it. Like, I need to release this.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all.
There's so much more of Leto's Joker, which I'm like, I don't need more of Leto's Joker. It's like, well, you got to miss it because Enchantress possesses Katana. I'm like,
that's worse.
That's cool. I don't need to see that either. There's nothing in that movie or the other one where he's like, Will Smith and Margot Robbie hook up. And I'm like, again, don't need that. Darkseid, yes. I need Darkseid at some point. Martian Manhunter, yes. Margot and Will Smith hooking up, that's not on my pecking order. More Jared don't care.
I don't care. I saw enough from the theatrical version, and I hated Jared Leto. I still do. I hate his music. I hate his Joker. I don't care. So yeah, you give me more of him. I don't care. It could be the best. It could be his best acting in any film. I'm still not going to give a shit about it because I did not care for his Joker. And the discussion. As far as, deleted scenes of the other ones, that's cool. You can have the Fresh Prince hanging out with Harley Quinn. I don't care. It's same thing. Like, but he is one actor that if he would have come back for the new Suicide Squad, the remake, whatever, I wouldn't have mind. But since he isn't, I'm like, whatever. It's not a real blow to me. But no, I as far as a Snyder cut and everything, this one, I really don't believe it because I'm like, you could have recorded hours, days more. But if you're cast and your film, I don't want to see it. I don't care.
Yeah. I'm on that same boat with Ayers. It's like, there's really nothing from that cut, from what he's teased, that makes me be like, that's going to make the movie any better. I know one of the things that he said is the original conclusion or third act is Joker working with Enchantress instead of Enchantress just dancing for like 30 minutes, which always bugged me as a third act. But even then, I'm like, why would Joker work with her for whatever reason? And I guess one of the alleged Joker cuts was him fighting the Suicide Squad in the subway station, which I'm like, okay, maybe that could be presented in like action wise. Maybe that would be cool. But at the same time, again, these things aren't, to me, necessary. Like, Ayers had his version. In the defense of Zack had his movie, and it was pretty much taken from him. That's totally different from Ayers having his movie, releasing his movie not being good, and then being like, well, you didn't see the real version of my movie. No, we saw a version of it. It just wasn't good, and that was the version that you agreed upon. You can't now just do a 360 and be like, well, I have this now. And I guarantee you this will make it better. It's like, especially now when like James Gunn is making a new Suicide Squad. There is no Justice League coming out anytime soon. There's not a new version. Yeah, there's a new Batman coming out. But mostly everybody else in Justice League, maybe except Ezra Miller, which that's a different story for a different day. But everybody else, everybody else is pretty much intact when it comes to the Justice League actors. So it's like they could make that attempt. With Suicide Squad, it's like they've already passed the boat. They already passed the baton to a better director who made billions for Disney and the Mouse with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm pretty sure Suicide Squad is in better hands with James Gunn. Brightburn as well, which I can't believe I still haven't seen, but you have talked so much great praise.
Oh my God, such a great movie.
Yeah, so it's like Gunn is such a great director. I'm satisfied with what Ayers did, and I'm glad that's over with. I'm excited to see what Gunn does with Suicide Squad, more so than seeing the revisiting of history of Ayers' version of the movie and his Joker. Like, again, at the end of the day, I don't fully blame Leto. I blame Ayers for thinking that he can make a cartel Joker, a riff-raff Joker that did not work. It did not sell, and it looked terrible, and it still looks terrible to this day. Stop showing me post-production pictures that we never see before. He still looks like shit. Even if his face is half burnt off, it still looks like shit.
Still got tattoos on his fucking forehead. I don't like it. Yeah. Fuck you, Jared. Like, I don't care. People will always argue too. Like, you didn't give it a shot. No, I gave it a shot. It sucked.
Oh, and
I don't.
Yeah, Lord knows I tried. I tried so hard to like find something from that character to be like, that's cool. there was nothing about that was cool, and I just everything about it was just felt so forced, and he felt as an actor so forced to be like, here's a hip, cool version, like hot topic version of Joker, and it's like, or I don't know what they were trying to do at the end of the day, but it just didn't work for me. I don't care what they do or what they show, it won't work for me. The rumors have it that unfortunately we probably are going to get the Ayers cut if the Justice League cut is successful, which I think it will be. But yeah, if we get it, we get it. I just don't see myself clamoring for it as much as I was clamoring for Snyder's cut. Only because, and I clamored for Snyder because I just wanted Ben's Batman to get the proper send-off. That was my biggest thing. And I feel like no shot at Whedon, but it didn't feel complete. And that guy deserves more props, Affleck, not Whedon, than a lot of people think he does. And we'll see how it goes, man. We're definitely getting it, but let's bring it into HBO Max. I don't know. Did you get it?
Not yet.
Not
Not yet. I'm thinking about it, though.
I would wait a little.
Oh, really? Wait for it?
Yeah, because it's very clunky.
Okay.
It's dope. The catalog they have is way more impressive than Disney's catalog, which is crazy. They just have so much shit to watch. But the DC stuff sucks. It's very limited. They don't have the Teen Titans live action.
Okay.
What the hell? They don't have the Batman animated series, which angered me to the fullest extent because I thought I could finally watch all of them. Yeah, they don't have you won't care about this, but I do. They don't have the Nolan trilogy, which I'm just like, I know. I know you're like, good. They have the
Someone should leave it off now.
They have the OG Batman movies of Keaton, but they're taking them off next month. So I'm like, why?
Why?
Yeah, they don't have the original Superman movies, which again, I'm like, why? They have the newer DC movies. They have Joker, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, which that's great. The DCU is complete there. They have BVS, but they don't have the 3-hour cut, which is whatever. It doesn't really matter. The movie's the movie. They have Justice League there, which is funny. And then they're taking it off next month. So I'm like, why did you even have to just wait till the fucking new version comes out? It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, doesn't. All right.
And then it stops. It's a lot of. It's still clunky. I would give it like a month or two to really let them like work out like the kinks in here and there because it needs a lot of work. But like catalog wise, man, the HBO Max is a huge home run. I've used HBO Max already way more than I've used Disney Plus. Like it just has so much, man. Their horror catalog is probably the wildest thing to me. For them to have every single Nightmare on Elm Street movie there was a big surprise for me. The horror catalog is probably their biggest thing. The new Looney Tunes. Fuck, dude. I've been like just chilling, watching that sporadically. But my question to you is, out of all the streaming services, at the end of the day, which one do you think is going to prevail out of all of them?
I don't know. That's a good question. Because I'm still like sporadic around. I'll hop from like one to another. Be like, I didn't find a movie. Let me go here, and then I'll take a half hour and be like, I don't want to watch a movie. I want to watch a TV show. So it all depends. Of the newer ones, though, I think HBO Max might win it. Disney's always going to be right there. If not number one, they're definitely number two. They don't like to be number two, though, so don't tell them that.
Yeah. They'll buy you out.
Yeah, they'll fucking take you down. I don't know, because I always think Netflix and Hulu will stick around. And I have Hulu currently, and Hulu can still have, like, the add-ons, like a lot of these other ones can. So it all kind of depends. So I don't know who will win. I think they'll all stick around, because every one of them will always still have, like, we have our originals. So everybody will always still be on something as opposed to just one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah, original content.
Who knows?
I think HBO is lacking from that too. Like the original content isn't that great. They don't have like that series, which it's like, oh, gotta watch. I mean, they have the new Watchmen on there, but again, it's like it's already been out. On Disney Plus, at least you know, like every week you're gonna get like, well, when it's the season is on, The Mandalorian or any other show that they're gonna come out with. And then Disney has Star Wars and Marvel and all that shit. And when Disney drops the Marvel series, which apparently those series are now back filming, so they're probably going to drop real soon. WandaVision.
Oh, okay.
Falcon and this Winter Soldier. Did they still call him Winter Soldier, or did they not call him Winter Soldier?
I was hearing about that, and I wasn't too sure what that meant.
Yeah.
Because I heard that they were like, oh, we're not too sure, but then it might change halfway through.
Yeah,
which doesn't.
I still think
doesn't really make
should have gone
sense.
to Shield.
Yeah, probably at this point.
I thought they should have just went that direction. WandaVision looks wild.
Yeah.
That looks like it's going to be an acid trip just waiting to happen, especially what homeboy that played Quicksilver in the X-Men movies got casted in the show. So
yeah, so I don't know what that means. I don't know.
There's
Kick-Ass is out of a job. That means I don't
know, man. The rumor is young Magneto.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they're saying in the grapevine. But we'll see how they accomplish that. I mean, he could be playing one of their kids because we know the twins that they eventually do have.
Yeah, and that was the thing I saw.
Yeah.
The other idea was he's just Quicksilver from a different universe.
That'd be fucked up.
But I'm like, that's fucking things up. But making things interesting as well.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them taking him from that X-Men catalog just because they're not getting Wolverine. At least Hugh not doing it anytime soon.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're having problems with Deadpool because they don't know how to go about it because they don't want to do rated R, and I don't think Ryan Reynolds wants to do it if it's not rated R.
No, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, so I think Deadpool's kind of on a weird place right now with Disney, which I saw that coming a mile away. It's just Deadpool ever being a Disney property just never made sense to me. Especially with the way they do things over there. It's not really directed, director driven at Disney. It's whatever Kevin Feige wants to do and whatever Kevin says, they usually go with that point. But yeah, so WandaVision.
Is that how it's pronounced? Feige?
I don't know, dude. I lost.
Feige?
Somebody's gonna correct me like always. Every time I say his last name, I get shit for it. Feige.
It's like I just don't like him. Whatever Fiji, I just don't. Fuck you. It's kind of like Whedon back in the day. I was always like, how the fuck do you say his last name? And then finally I had someone tell me, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. And then I was like,
the way I say it is the right way to go about it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I bring him up, I think I say it differently. At this point, I don't even care. I'm just like, it's Kevin. You know who he is. He's the guy that runs the MCU. That's all we need to know. Kevin Feige, whatever his name is, it doesn't matter. But
Kevin
WandaVision is probably going to drop in October, they're saying, which is probably a smart release date. And then we get the Loki series, which I don't give a shit about. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
It could be a hit or miss, but right now I just don't care. You know?
Yeah,
I don't want to fail necessarily.
I want it to fail.
Fuck you, Tom.
I don't want to see him anymore. I'm so over the Loki character. It's we get it, man. You've ran that storyline to the ground so many times. It's let it go. I know people
talk about a character that should not have gotten popular.
Yeah, it's maybe for a one-off in Thor, but at the same time, it's he wasn't too pretty. I hated the first two Thor movies before Ragnarok, but that was just me. I was never into that character up until they did a cool 80s vibe shit that they did with Ragnarok. The first one to me was a snooze fest. The second one was even more of a snooze fest. Third one, they upped their game and actually tried to entertain you. But I've never cared about Loki. That was the one person that I cheered when Thanos killed, especially when it was 20 minutes into the movie. I was like, fuck yeah, thank you, because now I can enjoy the rest of it without having to see him come back. And then they bring him back in the next one. So I'm like, God. And now they're saying, yeah, it's Feige's bitch ass has to bring him back every time, and it's damn, dude. So we'll see how those series go. But I think that's the one thing Disney Plus does have is that they have original content, and I don't think HBO Max will be able to counter that. They'll have the movies. They're going to make a shit ton with Friends. Everybody still watches that shit, which I'm just we'll see. We'll see how that ends up evolving. One thing I did see today, though, for the first time ever, which is shocking, was The Killing Joke, the animated version of The Killing Joke on HBO Max. I'll give HBO Max that. They do have a lot of DC animated movies, which I do appreciate. That's a really cool thing to add on to there or feature that. But I watched The Killing Joke, which is probably my favorite Batman comic, honestly. Just in total, just the storyline between him and Joker. It's
I got it somewhere down here.
Yeah,
it's somewhere around
here. You have it, yeah. Don't you have it with the mask, or was it another one?
Oh, I have the Death of the Family with the mask.
That's another deep favorite for me as well. Killing Joke, man, it's an epic, almost a conclusion in a way for that storyline. But I watched the animated version for the first time. There it is. Fucking so great, dude. That's the best cover, probably.
Easily.
Comics, and that cover just slaps every single time.
I mean, it's absolutely one of the most iconic covers.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
And it's so beautifully written, and like the third act of it all is amazing, especially the conclusion. We'll get to that. But so this is the first time I watch it. You've seen it already, so I'm not spoiling anything. So I'm not spoiling this for you. I'm sorry. Go watch it on HBO Max. Didn't need Batgirl and Batman 2. Fuck. Didn't need that to be a thing. It was one thing that I did.
I was gonna ask. I was like, what'd you think about the fuck scene? Because it just didn't. I don't know, man. It was just, and somebody ruined it for me before I saw it. And it kind of did ruin the movie because I was just like, why? Because it added nothing, took nothing away, but then it did take a lot away. Once it was in the movie, you're like, oh, that fucking shouldn't have been there. And it was one of those funny things. I don't know. It was very random. So other than that, I don't know if there's much from that film that I would be like, why? You know what I mean? So on your standards and standing of that movie, was there anything else really that you had a problem with? What you took away from?
It takes 30 minutes to actually get into the goddamn storyline. That's
that's true.
It's a Killing Joke, but for some reason you have to care about Batgirl to understand Killing Joke, which I know you don't, because Killing Joke is about kind of the first origin story for the Joker. And this whole time they're like, well, we're going to make you care about Batgirl, and we're going to give you the reason why Batman cares so much about Batgirl, because he put it in, and hopefully he pulled out. We don't know because they don't show you that much. But still, it's like for 30 minutes, I'm following this Batgirl storyline, and I'm like, get to the Joker. It's the Killing Joke. It's not Batgirl's storyline to begin with. Yeah, she gets shot. She turns into Oracle. Cool. But don't need 30 minutes of her doing this storyline detective work with Batman. I get why Batman cares about her. That's his Bat family. That's already established. You don't need
That's his Batgirl.
Yeah. You don't need to establish another underlying storyline to add to the big payoff of Joker knocking on the door and shooting her and paralyzing her. I didn't need that. So for 30 minutes, I'm sitting there being like, holy shit, this has nothing to do with the Killing Joke. It's the whole time I'm waiting for it to actually start kicking off. And by the time it does, I'm already kind of frustrated with it. Thank God they got Mark Hamill to voice Joker in this. That was probably my biggest takeaway. I'm like, that dude, Luke Skywalker himself, what can't he do? That man's voice as the Joker is as iconic as any version of the Joker ever. I loved what Hamill did. And this is the illustration of it as well, especially towards the end if you ever had one bad day. And just the story arc of it all, especially towards the end. And Batman 2 was fantastic and all this. But I wish they didn't try to add what they added just for the sake of making the movie longer. If you're going to make the movie longer, then you could have just added more backstory to who Joker was before everything happened. It would have been cool to see him commit more crimes, petty crimes, before actually turning into Red Hood. Spoiler, but come on. Before going that route fully. But it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know who gave approval of that, and who the hell in Warner Brothers was like, yeah, sure, let's do that, but let's shy away from it in other things. I don't know. I didn't get it. But my question to you, this has always been the biggest question about that book and that novel and that comic and that movie. Do you think Batman killed the Joker at the end of that?
No.
Okay.
But that's really one of the ideas?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's always been a theory.
I don't know if I've ever heard that one.
Really? That's always been
I've heard the one that they're that's well, maybe I have, I've heard the one that's the moment where they realize that Batman's crazy because it's like it's therapeutic. So that I've heard the idea that like that's the moment that they don't reveal it, but they're both in Arkham and somebody's diagnosing them.
See,
I've heard. Okay. See, because the way again, spoiler to people that don't know, but fucking read a book or watch a movie now. They both just start laughing. That's the joke. The cruel ending joke is that Batman and Joker laugh to each other. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? Especially when you read the whole book up until the end, you're like, wait, what the fuck just happened? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I believe either of those ones, but I would like to kind of take the idea that Batman is just so far gone that he is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to deal with this asshole his whole life. But
well, it would make sense with the storyline because the whole point of that was Joker trying to break Commissioner Gordon. If the end result was his whole plan was actually to break Batman, that would even be more fucking twisted in the Joker's like point of view. The only reason I brought up if Batman killed Joker because if in the book and in the movie, Batman's the last one laughing, and you don't hear Joker anymore. Like he's completely cut off for like a solid, probably like 20 seconds. It's just Batman laughing.
I never thought about it that way. So
yeah,
that's true.
So that's what a lot of people have always, from what I've heard and just videos that I've watched, because I just love that novel. It's just they're always like, did he just snap so much while they're laughing together that he just snapped the neck and was like, F it. And that was probably when he like truly broke. That's why I love that book so much because it's just like so many different conclusions that you can come up with. But I just love it because it gives you more insight on who the Joker actually was and how he came to be. It's probably why I love the fucking movie the live action movie so much because especially when Joaquin is sitting on that sofa and he just says the iconic like, "Have you had just one bad day?" I'm like, fuck, that line is just too iconic for that character, especially seeing how they done it. But yeah, the animated movie, just man, could have been better, man. It could have been executed in a way that I thought was at least more detailed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I haven't watched it for some time, but from what I remember first viewing, just kind of being like, all right. I know it took a little bit of time to watch it a second time. So, I mean, maybe it'll take you that route. But I think still watching it the second time, I was still kind of like, there's definitely some things that they didn't need to do. They need to change. But is what it is.
Yeah, and especially like Batman. There's it just popped in my head right now. Him trying to find Joker, where he's like interviewing the three hookers, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
when the fuck?
It's very random.
Yeah, it's like when the hell, like how, where, when. It was a lot of things that they added that didn't need to be added, but that seems to happen a lot with Warner Brothers. Now I'm gonna drop something big right now, exclusive that I've been hearing behind the scenes, and I want to drop it because I know your reaction is going to be priceless. It has to going back to Snyder's Justice League.
Okay.
Prepare yourself for this one.
Uh-oh. I'm ready.
From what I'm hearing, Green Lantern is in the movie.
Okay.
From what I'm hearing, it is Ryan Reynolds.
I don't believe it.
That's allegedly that's
unless it's stock footage, but then it wouldn't be real. It would just be leftover footage from Green Lantern. Right?
I'm hearing that they're bringing him in to shoot it. Yeah.
I mean, what a bold decision that would be if that's the case. I guess we'll see.
It'll be interesting.
As of right now, I would say that's bullshit. But crazier things have happened. So that sure would be interesting if they did it though. I can say that much.
I thought it was interesting that Reynolds was also kind of pushing for the Snyder Cut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was one of the ones that more underrated people that was kind of like, that's interesting that he's kind of like released a cut. And it's like, why would you care? You hated Green Lantern, and you've made that clear so many damn
Yeah.
times how Warner Brothers fucked you and the entire script and everything like they usually do. So it's like, I don't understand why he was so adamant about it, but from what I'm hearing, that's something that Snyder had planned already, that they were never able to actually do in the long run, unfortunately. But we'll see. Maybe it ends up happening. Maybe it doesn't. If it does, I think I'll kind of chuckle about it.
I would.
The Martian Manhunter stuff, what'd you think about that?
I think it's cool. It's one of those things, again, if it was going to be in anything, good for it to be on this one. I don't think it's a necessarily hit or miss either, but if they include it, cool. I've never been the biggest Martian fan, so I mean, seeing him in a live action form would be cool. I know we've seen him on like Supergirl and stuff like that. But it would be cool, I guess, and interesting to see how the story wise like plays out.
You know who's playing him, right?
It's the guy that played like the sergeant, right?
Yeah, from Man of Steel and BVS.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's
that's what I thought.
Yeah, which I'm cool with. Look, again, cautiously optimistic about this, man. I'm just back into it, just as a fan of it that was defending it. I kind of feel like I feel like it's my moment to shine a little bit, because I'm like, at least something came from it. You know what I mean? From all the shit I took from like liking that and defending it, and even like forcing myself to like certain movies. Now that we're actually getting something out of it, I'm excited for it. But also, I know how social media works. I know how Rotten Tomatoes works. I know how critics work. I'm expecting it to get just blasted. If it's it has to literally be a completely different movie for me, at least, for this to pay off. Like the entire story arc, sure, have Steppenwolf out there trying to collect the mother boxes. I'm fine with that. But the structure of it all has to be totally different. Like, just the theming
I forgot that was even the fucking storyline to that movie.
That's the entire thing. It's just him trying to collect it for Darkseid, but have him collect it for Darkseid. Don't just have him there collecting it for no fucking reason and being like, I'm going to start a home here. And it's like, what? Why? You're supposed to bring it.
Of all the shit that movie gets and got, at least they didn't have the villain take the whole Nolan universe idea and just be like, my whole plan involves a bomb. Like,
that's almost every Nolan movie, though.
Yeah, but holy shit, on the Nolan verse, you're just like, oh, dude, all your villains. This is why Batman isn't in the real world, because it'd be boring as shit. And we'll do an episode on that. No one will want to hear me say it.
About Nolan's Batman?
About Nolan Batman and why they didn't work.
Oh,
Batman is Batman. You can't put him in real world. It doesn't work. You can put Superman in the real world. Fuck it. I don't care. An alien flying around doing random shit. Cool. But Batman doesn't work in it with the villains alone. Batman as a person, maybe a crazy dude dressed up as a fucking bat. Sure, whatever. We've seen crazier shit right now going on.
Oh yeah.
But it's the villains that make it up. So every villain
might be a Christopher Nolan movie.
It might be, because every villain could easily be like, I'm crazy, but my plan involves a bomb. And you're like, yeah, I guess, because what else can you do? Do you own a gun? Like, can that be your plan? And they're like, no, because I live in California and it's hard to get a gun. So, but that's the Nolan Batman universe that I see it as.
You know what the craziest thing about Nolan's Batman universe, if you think about it, all the bombs were on different spots. First it was a train, then it was a boat, and then it was in the sky when Batman fucking took it away. So it's like he covered every basis of Gotham. He's like the sky, the water, the train.
Fuck you, Christopher Nolan. This is why I don't like you. Like, because I don't believe that you really tried. And I like to think that you like to convince people that you do. So I'm like, I don't think he tries that hard. I think he sits in his house, makes an idea, knows that it's kind of shitty, and is like, nah, fuck it. And they're like, yeah, we'll buy it.
But this is all Rossi's opinions. By
This
the way,
is a
Nolan
this is the
fans, don't
opinion.
come after me, please. I'm
Yeah,
not saying-
please don't come after Hollywood for the opinions of Rossi and Rossi himself. I just don't like Christopher Nolan, and that's that.
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck you.
Nolan fans are gonna be so tricked over that statement.
Oh, I bet, dude. Comment section is gonna be like, "This guy's an asshole," and I'll be like, "Yeah,"
Yeah,
but you know,
yeah, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's well, Batwoman. Want to get into that real quick? She's being who
She
is
quit.
Rose? What's her name?
Ruby.
Yeah, she dropped out. Kind of
Good.
happy for her because I hate the CW.
Suck.
Always will, always have. They're just do nothing for me. I think they're
Their version
awful.
of Hush sucks so much just by
Dude.
looking at it that she should have stepped down as Batwoman.
I don't blame her.
So
Yeah. I really don't blame her for being like, what are we doing here and why am I involved in this? I was in movies, for fuck's sakes, making.
but was she?
Yeah. Well, yeah, she was in the last John Wick movie.
Oh,
But
that's why I couldn't tell you if she was in movies or not. I don't watch Keanu Reeves. That's another thing that now people are going to be like, he doesn't watch Keanu Reeves either. Fuck this guy. He's an asshole.
Keanu Reeves is on a roll too right now, man. That's like that dude has like remastered.
Is he?
Fucking people love the John Wick movie. It's made so much money for whatever reason.
No, I understand that. People love Keanu for some reason. I don't.
And then you got another Matrix movie coming out, so
They're like, why does this guy hate everything? I'm just like, I
he hates everything.
just don't like him.
Yeah, so she dropped out because apparently she felt as if the schedule was too much. I guess she took a lot of injuries while shooting, which I'm like, God damn, don't you guys, doesn't CW afford a damn stunt double for this shit?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know she was a stunt woman. Like,
Yeah. So I guess she was tired of just doing the stunts and working every day, which is like, that's why you don't do TV shows. You're supposed to evolve into like movies and shit like that. So she dropped out, and then CW came out saying that they were going to recast the character. Well, they backtracked on that, and now they're just creating a new character to take over the cape and cowl. So it won't be the original Batwoman.
so it's the adventures of Batwoman, but a new character.
Pretty much, yeah.
But so is the new character the new Batwoman, or just a new character on the Batwoman show?
It's a new character that they're introducing that's now going to take over her spot as Batwoman. So I guess they're going to kill her off in some sort of way and have somebody else be like, no, I'm Batwoman, even though it's like, okay.
Just cancel the show.
Dude, the ratings are so bad. I don't know why that's not an option. Nobody's watching that shit.
Like,
They're introducing Bruce Wayne next season. So it's like,
why?
because CW wants to ruin everything, man. They already ruined
They did. They tried.
a lot of shit. I mean, I want to see Arrow at some point done right. I can't stand what they've turned Flash into, which is just pretty much a group of kids trying to work together to help the Flash in every single damn situation he's ever in. Superwoman never got into. Their Superman is terrible. I can't believe they're giving that Superman a solo series. Like, what the fuck, man?
That Superman is hands down the worst, and I give Brandon Routh credit for right now. He is not the worst Superman anymore.
Yeah, his Superman, at least there was an attempt to be something. This one is just so goddamn corny. That's the worst Superman suit I've ever seen, ever.
I was gonna make this video just ruined instantly and being like, at least Brandon Routh's Superman had Kevin Spacey. Like,
second time you bring up Kevin Spacey.
And people are like, oh shit, he's gone. He's gone. He brought up Kevin Spacey again. I'm like, yeah, I did, man, because
that was your Kevin Spacey feature of tonight's episode. Apparently, we bring it up once every time.
That was my Kevin Spacey plug.
Your Kevin Spacey plug. Well, we'll see Kevin Spacey during Thanksgiving when he drops another video where he admits to killing people. Because we get that.
Shit.
And this year will be
Happy Thanksgiving. 2020
is just amazing, and usually Kevin Spacey drops gems on us. I think 2020 needs Kevin Spacey at this point to do something.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very fun episode covering all the things happening in the world of DC and Warner Brothers. Next episode, I promise you, we will get into the Star Wars bag. I know we were going to do this for this one, but just a little refresher, just a little more discussion of the Zack Snyder Justice League cut and everybody's cuts that are apparently going to come out at some point. But we'll see what happens on the road to the Snyder Cut. I'm sure we'll get trailer very soon. I'm sure we'll also do a reaction to it when it does drop, if we're still alive by then. Hopefully, cross our fingers.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows, man? Shit happens every day. At this point, I don't know. We'll be lucky to make it to next week. So next episode, Star Wars, we will cover it. We're going to talk about the old trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and definitely the new trilogy. I'm going to go off probably on some random shit. I don't know. I know I want to go off on Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland because they screwed us over with that one. So don't miss that episode because that's going to be fun. That's going to be the episode where Disneyland finally takes one of my videos down because they haven't yet. But that will be the one. This will be the one that pisses them off. So don't miss next time. I don't know when we're going to do it. I always say next week, but we'll figure it out. So don't mark me down for an actual date. I don't know when. I'll come back with another one. Again, these are stressful times. And we will be back and when we can. As always, go subscribe to GCF's own YouTube channel where you can find us every Wednesday night. GCF Missing the Mark. That link is down in the description. Go subscribe to them. Go show them some love. And we will see you for the next episode where we will jump into the Star Wars world. This has been episode 17 or 18. I don't know. It's been one of them. But ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hollywood Hogan.
Rossi Montgomery.
Thanks for coming on again, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We will be back for the next one for the Star Wars episode. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Hollywood Uncensored.